Back. How is everybody? Hope y'all are well. Nobody here, nobody watching. This is the way. One like though, nobody watching. That's interesting. We'll see how this goes. So, I hope everybody is well, and I hope you all are awesome. I mean, you all are awesome, obviously, but yeah. So, I'm here to do a live. I don't know what about. I don't know how long it's going to be. I got a pug chewing on an alien toy. Not like alien, xenomorph alien, but like a green alien. Hey, Geraldine. Stephen Hansen says I'm here. Hello, Stephen. How's it going? Good to see you guys. Neil Hammersmith is here. Everybody's just checking in. Check, 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 check. So I hope everybody's well. I hope you're all subscribed to the Kind of Foley personal channel, because tomorrow I am doing a review of the new Hallmark Enterprise desktop ornament. It says it's a Christmas tabletop ornament, but there's nothing Christmassy about it. So, Billy King says, just popping in to say hello real quick. Hope you're having a good night there. A good night, buddy. Good to see you, Ryan. Yes, I am having a good night. Thought I'd go live, so thank you for popping in. I'm sure that means you're popping right out. But before you leave, I have been watching all of the Star Wars movies, and unfortunately, tonight I am up to episode 9, which is, episode 9, which is Rise of Skywalker, which I watched not that long ago, so I'm not sure if I'm going to watch it tonight. I did watch all the other ones. Last night was The Last Jedi, which, upon rewatching, isn't as bad as I remember. There's a lot of good moments in it, a lot of good ideas. I just hate the way they treated Luke, so. But anyway, yeah, so I rewatched all the movies. Pennsylvania says hi. Well, hello, Pennsylvania. Rest in peace, dude. I don't even want to watch it tonight. I might start one of the series. I might do Obi-Wan. I might revisit Andor. I'm not sure what I'm going to watch, but we'll see. I feel like Ryan and I should do a live talking about the different movies. Anyway, so how is everybody? Like I said, hope you're well. Check out the video tomorrow on the Captain Foley personal channel. Next week is another Hallmark one, but like I said, at the end of this week on Friday, I am heading to Port Huron. I'm going to pick up my Tomy Enterprise, so that review will be the following week, hopefully. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a much more in-depth review. So if you're not subscribed to the Captain Foley personal channel, why the hell not? Go do so. Ryan says, yes, sorry, I'd stick around longer, but my internet is down, trying to conserve data. Oh, that's no problem. Not a problem, sir. But thank you for stopping by and saying hi. I appreciate it. So yeah, that's what's going on in the Captain Foley personal channel. As for Trekyards, we did our first tiered list tonight, where we ranked the seasons of TOS, the animated series, and TNG. Tomorrow we're going to be doing Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Enterprise. And then the day after, on Thursday, we'll do all the new Trek, like Picard, Discovery, Lower Decks, and Prodigy. They'll be ranked. So, and then next week, we're going to follow it up with a head-to-head where all of the top-tiered lists, or the top 10, or the top-tiered seasons will square off against each other to see how they rate. So, it'll be interesting. It'll be fun. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you enjoyed the one tonight. I hope you watched it. If you didn't, I would say go back and watch it. It was a really fun episode to do, and yeah, it's going to be fun to keep doing these tiered lists because I think it's a fantastic idea for a format for lives. Mark Lawrence is here. Hello, Mark. Good to see you, sir. Ryan says, definitely down to do another Star Wars live, my dude. Anyways, I'll pop back in a bit, depending on how long you're on. Cool. Good to see you. Have a good one. Zeron the Gamer says, hello. Kelvin Maven says, Star Wars is very entertaining. Star Trek is entertaining, yet it makes me think more. Yeah, I mean, they're different beasts entirely. Star Trek is science fiction for smart people. And Star Wars is just science fiction. Zeron the Gamer says, I'm all right. Good to hear. Glad you're all right, sir. War God 6. So, away mission to Port Huron. Don't forget those captain's logs. I won't be doing a captain's log for that trip. Just because it's literally meeting up with my buddy for some lunch, and then we're probably going to do a little bit of shopping, me and Sylvia, and then head back. So, Zero on the Gamer says, which races was your favorite in the Delta Quadrant? In the Delta Quadrant, ooh. Let's see. The Kazon, they gotta win. I'm just kidding. Absolutely not. Not the Kazon. Wow. Let's see. The Voth. I like the Voth. The Voth are pretty cool. Why is nothing else springing to mind? Throw out some Voyager Delta Quadrant species and I'll let you know. Fearless Wolf says, hey Cap, looking gorgeous always. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Disagree, but thank you. Jim's Landscape says, hello. Mark Lawrence, more like Rise of Palpatine. Palpatine returns somehow. Yeah. Neil Hammersmith, what does the Tomy Enterprise retail? Well, it was a crowdfunder and it was $600 US for that. Now that it's on the secondary market, because people you could buy more than one. You could buy up to like 4 or 5, I think, in the crowdfunder. Now that it's on the secondary market, it's going for well over 1,000, sometimes 1,500. So yeah, I'm glad I got it when I did, because that's one of the things I said. I need to get this because on the secondary market, this is going to go for ridiculous prices. And guess what? I was right. So I'm glad that I snagged one. And I pity everybody that canceled their order because they weren't happy with it. From all the reviews I've seen, it's pretty decent. I'll give you a quick preview of what my review is going to say. They almost nailed it. They got maybe 87% of the way there. And then they kind of dropped the ball and fumbled on a few things. So that's kind of my review. I think it's a fantastic piece from what I've seen. Like I said, I haven't had one in hand yet. I will have one at the end of the week. And yeah. And the reason I didn't get it shipped to my house is because I didn't ship outside the US. So I had to get it shipped to a friend's place who lives in Michigan, and I just haven't had a chance to get down and grab it yet. So that's what this Friday is about. So the thing is, they were trying to reproduce the Smithsonian one, complete with paint job and everything. And they had Gary Kerr come on to help with the paint. And Gary Kerr is a genius when it comes to the Star Trek paint stuff. He helped restore the one in the Smithsonian. So the paint scheme's on point. And the only thing I hate, not the only thing I hate, but one of the things I hate is that because it's based on the Smithsonian one, only one side of the saucer lights up. The windows on the one side, on the starboard side, light up. The ones on the port side do not. And the port side is the side that doesn't have the screw hole covers. It doesn't have, it's the one that has the really ugly stand part. So you can't even display it the other way around, which where I'm going to display it is how I was originally going to display it, facing the other way, but now I can't. Or maybe I can. I don't know. We'll have to see. But anyway, yeah, they got like 87% of the way there, and then, you know, they tried. They tried. I just wish they made the version of the Enterprise and not the Smithsonian one. So, anyway. Oh, the Hirogen. Yes, the Hirogen are a fantastic Delta Quadrant species. Why I didn't think of them, I don't know. Should I say species 8472? Yes, I should, because they're cool, but I don't think they're really Delta Quadrant. They are, you know, fluidic space, so different. Neil Hammersmith says Ray and Anakin are technically siblings. Sure. Kelvin Maven says Krenim was pretty interesting too. Yes, the Krenim time ship was very cool. I don't think we got a real feel for what the Krenim are like though, based on what those episodes were about. So, Zeron the Gamer says, for me it's Krenim Imperium. They were the Delta Quadrant version of the Romulan Empire. In all honesty, I could possibly see an idea where the Romulan install a puppet leader within the Krenim Imperium. Tony Armstrong saw an Enterprise D with 3 nacelles, Eagle Moss, on Facebook Marketplace for $30. Thoughts? Well, that's the Galaxy X from All Good Things. If it's just the regular size one, $30, it's a fantastic price. If it's the XL version, which they do have, that's a really phenomenal price. So $30 is a good price. I would scoop that up if you could. Zeron the Gamer, and make the Krenim Imperium as an enemy of the Federation. Yes. The Federation wouldn't stand a chance. John Walker says, hola, Cap. I'm late, but here. Good to see you, John. And you're not really late. But I've only been on for 11 minutes. Well, it's going to be 12 minutes in 2, 1, 0. I've only been on for 12 minutes. So, Neil Hammersmith, Tony, buy it. Tony? Who the hell's Tony, and why is he? What's he buying? If you mean buy the Tomy, yes, you should. There we go. I just had to make an adjustment. Sorry, my bad. I'm back. I don't know how the review's going to go. I think it's going to go very well based on the reviews that I've seen. I do have thoughts on it. I have done a whole rant video about Tomy's kind of screwing up last minute with what they had promised and what they were delivering. So we're going to see how it goes. I'm excited to get it, honestly. And it's one of those pieces that I think is important to get. It is a large die-cast piece. And as far as Enterprises go, for the same price and the same scale, hell of impressive. So, Zeron the Gamer says, and my final question is, what's your least favorite current Star Trek series? Least favorite current one would be Discovery still. I mean, it's only got 1 season left to go, but definitely Discovery. Prodigy is my favorite, followed by Lower Decks. And then, well, yeah, Prodigy, then Lower Decks, then Strange New Worlds. Picard, I mean, season 3 was good, but one good season doesn't make up for the 2 that came before that, which were absolute fucking dog shit. So take that for what it's worth. But yeah. Neil Hammersmith, I was telling Tony Armstrong to buy the Galaxy Z. Oh, we were talking about Tomy, and a lot of people, they don't know how to spell, apparently, when they leave comments. So I just figured you're talking about the Tomy Enterprise. But yes, Tony, buy it for $30. Even if it's just the regular one, the smaller one, still a good price. I would scoop it. Mark Lawrence throws in $5. Thank you so much, Mark. TMP, TNG Klingons are greater than TOS Klingons, which are greater than the Kazon, which are greater than Discovery. Season 1 Klingons. All of that is correct. That is a very accurate super chat. Probably one of the most accurate super chats I've read in a long time. Kelvin Maven, Disco had a ton of opportunities to get the fan base on board, but failed. They made course corrections. They made changes that benefited them. They absolutely did. But they dropped the ball so early that not a lot of people went back. I mean, you see constant improvements at the latter half of season one. Season two's a lot of different improvements, but the problem is they had so many different showrunners each season that the people were getting fired and people were getting replaced, and the vision kept changing from what it was based on, and then they still had to incorporate some of the stuff from the previous person. It was a fucking nightmare. So no, they did make course corrections, and going into the future in season three, best thing they could have done, they should have just started Discovery in season three with the mycelium drive, with the spore drive, and that would have been cool. That's future tech. That's awesome. Look at the Discovery. Would have fit into a future aesthetic. Cool. Future Star Trek. They would have had a much bigger fan base if they just started with that instead of saying it was 10 years prior to Kirk and fucking up the entire aesthetic of the TOS era. So yeah, they made a lot of mistakes, but they also made a lot of course corrections. So I got to give them props for that because they did listen to the fans. They did make changes which were visible, especially when we were reviewing it. We were noting all of the things that they were improving, and yeah, it got better. Even Burnham's character got better in season 3 and 4. So they did listen. They did realize that they messed up, and they did attempt to fix it. So I think they brought some people back on board. A lot of people just absolutely love Discovery, and that's awesome. Good for them. Like, you can't say a bad word about it because you're a hater. You can't say something good about it because you're a shill. We've been called shills and haters all in the same comment section of the same video. So people only hear what they want to hear from us. But as we do with all Star Trek, we point out the good and bad in all of it because none of it's perfect. So, hey. Zero on the Gamer says, for me, Prodigy is the only good series, and Discovery was also mediocre at best. Strange New Worlds was decent, Picard was awful. Pretty good summary. What about Lower Decks? Lower Decks is also really good. Prodigy is my favorite, though. It is the best of the new Trek, hands down. Kelvin Maven said, I got whiplash, from all the executive producers on seasons 1 and 2 of Discovery? Yeah, I think we all did. John Walker throws in $5 and says, I'm convinced we saw the Breen in Enterprise early on, messed with NX-01 with tractor beam, but looked like their weird ship design, just symmetrical. Okay. We didn't run into the Breen, but I'm trying to think of the ship that you might mean, and I don't know. I mean, the Breen are known for their asymmetrical ships, so... I mean, maybe we did. I mean, it's possible to have run into species and not realize what species that is necessarily. So yeah, I'll buy it. But Neil Hammersmith, Zero on the last 3 episodes of Picard season more than made up for it. No, not really. I consider Picard season 3, especially the last little bit, to be a standalone thing, honestly. And the last few should have just been a movie. That would have been awesome. A TNG reunion movie. That would have been great. Darth Maul says, I wonder if Terry Matalas will get Legacy. Who knows? With Alex Kurtzman in charge and it not being his idea, I don't know. He did say at at New York Comic Con that, thank you to the fans for saving Prodigy after we totally ditched it. Dick. And then he goes on to say that we do listen to the fans. And they did. They brought Pike back for his own series. They did listen to the fans. As I just said, they did listen to the fans during Discovery as well, making small little improvements here and there, trying to fix its course heading, if you will. So will we get Legacy? I hope so. But at the same time, with clashing egos, I mean, we're getting the Starfleet Academy show. You know why? Because that was Kurtzman's idea. No, it wasn't, you dumbass. It's been around since like the 80s, the idea of an Academy show. But he's determined and hell-bent to push that through, but that's his own idea. I don't think he's going to hand over the reins and admit that he isn't making this awesome thing that is Legacy. But if he doesn't, he's an idiot. Well, we already know he's an idiot. But I don't think he's going to want to give Terry Matalas the spotlight necessarily. Don't get me wrong, I really hope he does. but it's Kurtzman. So, I mean, what do you expect? You're going to get a Kurtzman's going to do what a Kurtzman's going to do. So, I don't know. I would love to see Legacy for sure, but and I'm pretty confident we will, honestly. If they do want to listen to the fans and they do want to make money and they do want to make people happy, they would absolutely make Legacy. Will they? I've seen enough stupidity in my lifetime to realize that something like that you can't gamble on, because stupidity will always rear its ugly head. And I have a feeling that that just might be the case with Legacy. I'm not sure Terry Metellus necessarily wants to jump on board to start making Legacy, because that's a lot of work. But that's a whole other conversation for another time. So there you go. Zero on the Gamer says, I just don't like how Picard, the series shots where 99% of it was dark and you couldn't see any of the sets. Yeah, well, the on-set lighting wasn't great, and then the fact that it was also released with the wrong color grading that made it even darker didn't help. So, and I love how when people complained about that too, they just said, it works on modern TVs, you need a better TV. Yeah, you need better equipment on your end. They blame the fans for not being able to see anything. I don't know how I feel about that necessarily either. I heard that from many different avenues when that was an issue. And I hate that. Like, people shouldn't have to upgrade their TVs to the most modern, bright QLED possible to see the detail. Like, I'm sure it looks fantastic in 4K. I'm sure it looks fantastic and really great on a really great set. I'm sure it does. I still think they lit the sets too dark, but what do I know? I don't know anything. Legacy. Hello, Terrence Childs. Neil Hammersmith says Disco season 4 was a copy and paste of season 3. Somewhat. It had a good idea, but it shouldn't have been the entire season arc. It should have been 3 episodes and then move on, do something else. I think they should have broken the season up into like small little miniseries, like 3 or 4 episodes for each storyline. Because the idea of the 10C, the species 10C, and going outside the galaxy, it's a fucking great idea. It's a fantastic idea for Star Trek. But to stretch it out over the course of a whole season, it suffered from the same problem that season 2 of Picard did, where you're drilling down on these plot points and just dragging it out. It's like a piece of bubble gum, and you start stretching it. And it's like, it's good, it's a good idea, it's a good story. And then it starts to do this. And you keep pulling. And it gets so fucking razor thin in the middle that it just falls apart as far as any kind of cohesive story goes. So that's the problem I had with Picard Season 2. I have Picard Season 2 PTSD, as I tell people. And Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks, they've all rectified that somewhat, because they come up with a plot idea, they solve the plot idea, let's move on. Star Trek works best in an episodic format, not necessarily serialized. Picard, because of COVID, that's what they blame it on, was, especially season 2, it wasn't in the future, it was all in the present. It's like, God damn it, I can walk outside my door and see the goddamn exact same thing. I don't want to see that when I watch Star Trek. For an episode or two to be in the past, cool, awesome, love that. Love time travel stuff. But to take a premise and stretch it so far. Season 4 of Discovery did the exact same thing. Some of the episodes that were filler episodes were just shit. They're just garbage because they... Anyway, whatever. Moving on. Darth Maul says Lower Decks has been great till this season. It's like they went on autopilot, not as good as the previous 3. Yeah, I would not disagree. I would not argue with you. That's what I meant. Soraka Vulcan, is there a story behind why the DS9 Breen looked like Leia's helmet from the Jabba's palace? Not that I'm aware of, no. But yeah, it's pretty much the exact same thing. I don't know, honestly. I don't know if it was a prop thing. I don't know. Zero on the Gamer says, I could have liked Lower Decks if it was more series show like TNG. A more series show? Or do you mean serious? Lower Decks is really serious. Some of the episodes are quite hard hitting. I love the comedy sprinkled throughout. I think that's a perfect blend. Especially Lower Decks is good because they are Star Trek fans and they know what Star Trek fans like, and they make all these little in jokes that only hardcore Star Trek fans can get. Some of them are such deep cuts, like such visual Easter eggs that a lot of people might not recognize. There's a lot in there for true Star Trek fans to really enjoy and sink their teeth into. So I love that mix of humor with really good stories. I think it's a fun idea. Darth Maul, Strange New World Season 1 was a great start. Season 2 was a mixed bag. Not going to disagree with that either. Season 2 was still pretty good, though. Trekgate says, Disco is just weird and confusing to me. Season-long arcs are fine, but I don't love the way they go with them. Yeah, I agree with that as well. I mean, you can do a successful season arc, even in the Star Trek universe, but in between have episodic episodes. Like season 2 of Discovery actually did a pretty good job of that. They had the season-wide arc of Control, but a lot of times the episode was bookended with the series, with the overarching story, the overarching narrative. It had like beginning and end, kind of mentioned it, and then the middle was kind of its own standalone episode, which is great. Star Trek works best in an episodic format. So SC Scout Guy says, I saw on Facebook where someone's kid wrote to Jerry O'Connell to get an autograph, ransom picture, and he sent him one, and he also sent a Lower Decks #1 poster signed by his wife. That's awesome. Yeah, they're both first officers in Starfleet. I think that's great. Trekgate, best season-long arc is still the Xindi to me, Enterprise Season 3. Yes, absolutely. That's how you do it properly. Zero on the Gamer says, yes, I agree, Trekgate. Yeah. Toyota Tacoma, my biggest problem with Legacy is the main hero ship and insular cast. I'm not too fond of the name either. I won't completely write it off, but I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical too, especially if it's going to be on the Enterprise G, which should not have been that ship. As much as I love Bill Cross's work, that should have stayed the Titan, and there should have been another ship for the Enterprise G. But I'm not a huge fan of Jerry Ryan being a captain either, but that's just me. John Walker, $5. Do you have to watch Discovery 10 to Strange New Worlds better? I really don't want to watch Discovery. I'm not apologizing for that. No, you do not have to watch Discovery 10 to Strange New Worlds better. Matter of fact, Strange New Worlds pretty much goes out of its way to divorce itself from Discovery somewhat. There's the odd mention here and there of small little things like Michael Burnham or Discovery, just small little, and they're very quick. They're acknowledging that the show exists without acknowledging that the show exists. So you do not need to watch Discovery to watch Strange New Worlds, John. You are free and clear to navigate. Trekgate, the classic Trek shows had a story for each character, and all got to come into their own. Some of Disco's characters got complete side characters. They are just there to be there. You say that, but go back and watch TOS. There was never an Uhura focused story. There was never a Sulu focused story. There was never a Chekhov focused story. It wasn't really even a Scotty focused story. I mean, the closest would be Wolf in the Fold with Red Jack, where he was accused of murdering somebody. It was the Jack the Ripper episode. They didn't treat their side characters very well at all. Even in the movies, they don't have a lot to do, except for Star Trek 4. Star Trek 4, they each get a moment to shine, and that's great. There's really not anything that focuses on the TOS cast necessarily. But you are right. The bridge crew of Discovery, Reese and Bryce and some of the other people, I don't even know their full names. And that's after 4 seasons. Whereas Lower Decks, we've got Billups, we got Jet, we got Jennifer, we got Ensign Barnes, we got Matt the Whale, we got there's so many side characters in Lower Decks that we already know and care more about than all of the bridge crew in Discovery, essentially. So yeah. Darth Maul, you're not wrong on Kurtzman Foley, but none of his productions has reached the height of Picard Season 3 did in social media, nor did Paramount Plus gain subs as it did. That's true, but Picard wasn't his idea, or Picard wasn't Terry Matalas's idea. Picard was Kurtzman's idea. He was happy to announce that Picard was coming back at the Star Trek Vegas convention. So it was his idea. It was a season in that his idea that had a good showrunner. I don't think he's going to allow his ego to necessarily let Terry Matalas have his own show and be like, yeah, you did good. Yeah, you saved what I ruined. And I don't know. I don't think Kurtzman's smart enough to do that necessarily. I don't have faith in the man. Pumpkin Spice says, saw the Tomy Enterprise messed up, that they were sloppy, and the fit and finish, a bad business acumen that Tesla and many other car companies do now. Yeah, it's not what they promised, and that's the problem. It is close. Like I said, they got like 87% of the way there, then they just kind of fucked it up. It's not what they promised, but it's still a pretty fantastic piece, which I'm going to be talking about in my review. So stay tuned for that. Geraldine Karstensen throws in an amazing $20. Kurtzman's face is punchable. Hey, you said it. I didn't. Just in case Kurtzman's watching. Not that I haven't said it before, but John Walker, yes, it is. Yeah. Pumpkin Spice. Also, they should have had the three saucer landing struts be functional. If you want to display the saucer section separated on the Tomy diecast model, 100% agree with you. I would love for well, there's not 3 landing struts. There's 2 landing struts. The 2 eyebrows, they come down, and then I guess there is a thing that comes out of the neck. But yeah, I would have loved that. I do like the saucer separation has me befuddled. I love the idea of seeing a TOS Enterprise that can saucer separate as it was meant to, and I'm going to focus on a little bit on that in my review. However, I think this particular one didn't need it, just because of the weight of the saucer. It's a heavy thing. It was ambitious for them to do that, but it never saucer separated, so nobody really is going to display it that way. I like the idea, but I think it could have been done a lot better. So, Kelvin Maven says, Lower Decks has been something I didn't know I wanted or needed. It's been a nice project. Yeah, I didn't know what to expect with Lower Decks. No one did, I don't think. And you're right. It's not something we knew we wanted until we got it. So, Pumpkin Spice, the Star Warsization of Star Trek was lazy writing. Yep, yes it was. Thanks, J.J. Abrams, you asshole. And it was J.J. Abrams that started that with 2009. J.J. Abrams saved Star Trek, don't you know? No, he fucking didn't. Star Trek wasn't, it sure was dead, there's nothing new on, but there was still a huge fan base. People were still buying merch. Oh, but he saved Star Trek because he made his movie, they got new Star Trek. No, absolutely not. Star Trek was going to come back regardless whether JJ did it or not. So I hate those comments. Well, JJ Abrams saved Star Trek. Fuck off. He did not save Star Trek. Anyway, whatever. It was to the point where this moron, JJ Abrams, said to Paramount or CBS, I don't want you selling any of your original series merch. I don't want people confusing the original Enterprise or the original stuff with my stuff. So please stop selling merch so I can sell merch for the movie. And CBS was like, no, go fuck yourself. Because honestly, that's bank for them. And there was still a lot of Trek merchandise around. Not as much as in the 90s. I would really love the return of some toys. I would love more Playmates toys. I want to get the Playmates Protostar when it comes out, which it's still going to be coming out, hopefully. That's a whole other story. Talk to Aaron Waltke about that. But I would even buy some Discovery figures. I would love a Discovery Tilly figure, a Stamets, a Lorca. You know, the characters I liked in Discovery. I would love to have them. But no, the only characters you can get are like Mego ones, or I think there are some Playmates ones. But anyway, you can get Michael Burnham and Saru. That's it. Those are the only ones that are available. I would like more options for that, please. But whatever. What do I know, right? Sirstis says, when it comes to Lower Decks, I feel that sometimes we need a little Star Trekking across the universe in our lives, and I love it. Yeah, I agree with that. Trekgate says, it would be gold for me to it would be gold to me for Lower Decks to make fun of These Are the Voyages, the Enterprise finale. They can retcon it if they want to. We'd be okay with that. Yes, I think so too. See, These Are the Voyages would have been a good mid-season episode, but not a season finale or a series finale. That's where they fucked that up. But as a mid-season one, it would have been great. Without the death of Trip, obviously, but Trekgate says Enterprise montage at the very end, great for the finale. Rest of it, no. Yeah, 100% agree with you, man. 100% agree with you. Pumpkin Spice, Lower Decks had a great idea, and this with disgruntled officers from all of the Alpha Quadrant powers creating Nova Fleet. Then they threw it all away with awful evil villain trope and Star Trek II retread. Nope, I don't agree with that necessarily. I love the Star Trek II references. That was their cinematic vibe for this season. Every season has some kind of cinematic thing. That was this one, and I have no problem with that. I also have no problem with Locarno coming back. Mike McMahon is a big fan of the episode, the TNG episode Lower Decks, and of Locarno, which he had said to us after season 1 when we interviewed him. So I think he did a good job with it, honestly. So Troy Ulysses, I'd watch about 3 episodes of season 2 of Discovery with Pike-centric episodes. Yeah, season 2 had its own problems. Trek8 says, oh no, not the burn again. Eric Martin is here. Evening, Cap. Good evening, Eric. Hopefully you restarted your phone. Toyota Tacoma says, Strange New World season 2 got better ratings than Picard season 3. Did it, though? I find that shocking. Pumpkin Spice, Helmsman Detmer is the only Discovery character I remember because she is so hot. Because she is hot. She also does makeup commercials. Adorable. Yeah, Nivea fucking commercials. I cannot stand her character or the actress. I fucking hate Detmer. And she's not hot. Hate to break it to you. Awashikam, the other, the helmsman, or the... Anyway, yeah, Detmer's the helmsman. Washicum, she is beautiful. She is a gorgeous woman. I can't stand Detmer. I've had experiences with the actress, and I didn't like the character to begin with, so I cannot stand that woman. So, absolutely no. Blech. Ray Ferguson, preaching to the choir, Captain. 4 seasons in the can, and we barely know the Disco crew. To put it into perspective, by season 3 or 4 of TNG, we knew more about the crew. Same to be said for DS9, Voyager, and Enterprise. Yep, 100%. Trekgate, Subspace, Bohemian Rhapsody got all the buzz, good and bad. It did. I enjoyed it for what it was. I didn't think it was bad or horrible, or I'm going to skip it, or whatever, any of that shit. I enjoyed it. I'll watch it, and I like the premise around it, the reason, the explanation that they had for it. I like that. So, if you don't like that, I don't really give a shit. John Walker, $20. Uniform change. DS9. Take a shot also. Plus, going off topic, if you play MTG, I want to see your rarest card. It won't let me do the $50 for some reason. I'm not going to do a costume change. That's not in the cards for this live. I appreciate that, but no, I won't do that. Take a shot, I will go do. I'll go grab something of alcohol. By MTG, I assume you mean Magic the Gathering. And no, I don't play Magic the Gathering. I'm a little too old for that crap. Same reason I'm not a Power Rangers fan. Just saying. Hold on a second. But I I will take a shot of Kraken. But have you tried turning it off and on again? That's the question. I will have a shot for your $20. I appreciate that. Thank you. But I won't do a costume change because I did not have that planned, nor do I have anything available. Easily available anyway. So here's to you, sir. Dark spiced rum in my Ripley's Aquarium shot glass, courtesy of Eric Martin, who bought this for me when he was there. So thank you. So cheers to you. David and Laura, the Virginia homesteaders. Laughing my ass off. J.J. Abrams saves Star Trek. Laughing my ass. Do that face again. I do that face all the time when I'm making fun of people. I'm a J.J. Abrams, and I never liked Star Trek. I never got it because they were just like people walking around in their pajamas. I prefer Star Trek. I mean, Star Wars. Can't believe you haven't seen that before. I do that all the time. Pumpkin spice. The saucer section separation is supposed to save the crew from danger of warp core breaches and antimatter containment failure. They used it in Generations. That's why landing the ship or flying. Yes. A Jet Reno. I like Jet Reno, actually. Dave and Laura says Discovery, ugh, completely unwatchable. Nah, it's got its moments. There's good and bad in all Star Trek. I know you don't like Discovery, but you should go back and watch our reviews. We tried to be optimistic in season 1. We fucking tried. Oof, we tried. Pumpkin spice. I thought the atmosphere is moronic. Oh, flying it through the atmosphere is moronic. They're not flying it through the atmosphere. That's for emergency landing procedures. And as Rick Sternbach says, the shields around it can be reconfigured to act like a wing, an airframe. And it's not flying. It's literally a controlled crash. Even though they didn't really control the crash in Generations, but that's the plan anyway. So, like it or not, I love the idea. Trekgate. I wish they put the money into having HD updates for DS9 and Voyager instead of producing and creating Disco. 100% agree with you. But don't worry, updated DS9 and Voyager are coming. I might know what I'm talking about. Stern Von Alt, would you prefer a 1/1 scale Tilly action figure? Oh, yes. As long as it's season 1 and 2 Tilly. Season 3 and 4, not so much. But season 1 and 2, 100% yes. I have a picture with Miss Mary Wiseman. I was so happy to get that picture. I was first in line for the photo shoot. Orgod 6, I'd love to get the Empress in her Empress outfit. Even Michael and Tilly in Terran uniform. I can't stand Michelle Yeoh. Michael, Cindy Martin Green. This doesn't really do much for me, but Charlie Anthony says, hi, Captain. Hello, Charlie. How's it going? Toyota Tacoma. I have no idea what it says about the state of Trek as a whole, but there's a plush Gorn and Badgie at my local Target. Awesome. Sureka Vulcan, who is snoring? My pugs. Both of them. The Chihuahua's not snoring. Dave and Laura. The paywall on the Genesis torpedo made me double over laughing. Yeah. Trek date. Babylon 5 got a Blu-ray release. To me, there's no more excuses for DS9 and Voyager. At the very least, not to have an HD release, even if it's a non-updated CGI. Better than nothing. Yeah, but we're going to get something better than that. They are going to remaster it. Spoilers. And it will probably, most likely, maybe, be in 16:9 instead of 4:3. So John Walker throws in another $20. Continued uniform change bribe. LOL. if I go downstairs, I gotta go all the way downstairs to get the uniform stuff, and then the dogs are gonna get all upset, and it's just not a good idea, John. I apologize. I appreciate the super chat. I really do. But I can't do it right now. Maybe I'll owe you for the next one. We'll see. Pumpkin spice. Yes, that I'll have another drink though. Will that help? Another drink of Kraken spiced rum. Let's do that. Almost out. I got one more shot left in this bottle, maybe 1.5. But cheers to you, sir. Just pretend I'm in another uniform. Yes, Detmer is super hot, the hottest since Jolene Ballock, aka T'Pol, in the Mirror Universe in the TOS miniskirt. She did look good in the Mirror Universe, but again, I'm not really the biggest fan of Jolene Ballock either. But hey, to each their own. You can't all like the same kind of women. That's what prevents men from killing each other. You go out with your friends and it's like, she's not my type, but she's definitely my friend's type. Go after her, buddy. I don't have to kill you. It's fine. Troy Ulysses. I really like the actor we had for Scotty in season 2 of Strange New Worlds. He was born an hour's drive from Scotty's birthplace, which is wild. Yeah, that's awesome. He was pretty good. Toyota Tacoma, Strange New Worlds season 2 had consistently higher Nielsen ratings, showing it in the top 10 for the whole of its season, while only the final 3 episodes of Picard season 3 made the chart. I think the DVD sales are roughly equal to. That makes sense. That makes sense. Trekgate says, how does DVD Blu-ray sales factor into saving a show, Prodigy, or keeping one going, Strange New Worlds? It factors in quite a lot, actually. Especially one of the things that really helps out, and just so you guys know, Netflix picked up Prodigy, so they're going to be releasing season 1 on Christmas Day. The best analytics for streaming, and I got this straight from Aaron Waltke, who is the lead writer on Prodigy. Any kind of streaming service, the best analytics for that show, if you want that show to get more seasons, is watch all the episodes within 28 days of it dropping on the streaming service. So on Christmas Day or Boxing Day, I'm going to throw on Prodigy season 1 and watch the whole thing again, probably multiple times, because all of those numbers add up. We're going to be getting season 2 early next year on Netflix. Season 2 of Prodigy will be on Netflix. And if those streaming numbers go well, they're going to probably commission more seasons. So please, if you want to see Star Trek Prodigy, watch all of the content within 28 days of it being released on the streaming platform. Very important to buy the DVDs, very important to buy the merch, very important to stream it. Very important. Those are all super important analytics. Yes, the Blu-ray sales matter. Pumpkin Spice, Magic the Gathering, have not heard that since 1998. David and Laura, Kraken, nice. I love Kraken, yeah. John Walker, harumph, disgruntled, no costume noises. I'm sorry, man. It's just a process. If I had known, I might have something available, but they're all the way, not only the next floor down, but the one below that. And Sylvia is actually not feeling well and went to bed early, so I don't want to disturb her, so. Eric Martin, $10. I turned my phone off and on again and successfully loved the Guitar Nebula scene in Lower Decks. Yes. Hey, have you tried turning it off and on again? You have. See, I didn't pull it up high enough for you to see my nipples that time, so you're welcome. Let's see. Orgod 6, I don't get Star Wars because the Jedi are just a bunch of guys running around in bathrobes, laughing my ass off. I love both Trek and Wars. So do I. I love both. Stern Von Alk, the best thing about Discovery is that it's ending. Yeah, and I think it went for 5 seasons because they wanted to prove a point. You're like, you don't like this shit? Well, guess what? This is what we want. They were balls deep in stick it to the fans, I think. And they wanted to prove a point by getting it at least, I thought they were going for 7 seasons, which wouldn't have mattered anyway, because it's 7 seasons with like 13 to 10 episodes per season. That ain't nothing compared to, we lasted 7 seasons, just like TNG. That's what I thought they were going for. But that's 26 episodes a season, not fucking 10. So it wouldn't have mattered anyway. But yeah, they were just trying to prove a point by keeping Discovery going, in my opinion. David Laura says, I have seen them. LOL, you did try, but season 3, I just couldn't take anymore. That's fair. That's fair. At least you're watching. Thank you. We appreciate that. Hit the like button on those, even if you don't like the show we're talking about. Our reactions to it should be worth a like and subscribe. Eric Martin, just trying, John. LOL. Maybe he will lift his shirt for a later night. I almost got there. I didn't even read this comment yet, and I know that I'm delayed in the chat. But I lifted the shirt. I did it without even seeing that comment. So, I know what you guys want. And if you want nipple, I'll give you a nipple. Trekgate. I love Trek and Wars 2. Star Trek and Stargate more than anything else. Though, explains my username. Yeah. Pumpkin Spice. The only thing J.J. Abrams did was bring back the adventure aspect of Star Trek, whereas the technobabble and diplomacy aspect became too prevalent. The J.J. sequels went too far, though. They did. They're fun. I've said this before. They're fun popcorn summer movies. They're fun action movies. I can watch 2009 Star Trek. I can watch, Into Darkness. I can watch those and enjoy the fuck out of them as adventure movies. I just have to divorce myself from the fact that they're Star Trek movies. They're to me, the 2009 JJ film is more of a Star Trek parody than Galaxy Quest was. Galaxy Quest is a much better Star Wars or Star Trek movie than 2009. And Beyond was the best of all of them. Beyond was a pretty good movie, not the least of which was seeing the Enterprise get its throat slit and just having that ship get fucking annihilated, because that ship is ugly and hideous as sin. So to see it get its throat slit literally and just the nacelles cut off and just fucking annihilated was fucking gorgeous. Anyway. Dave and Laura. Amen, Strum Martin. Amen. Trekgate says JJ Trek is fine as its own thing. Absolutely. Toyota Tacoma. Yeah, I heard DS9 was being shopped around for a remaster. Waltz is going to hit different when it doesn't look like found footage from the end of the world. Yeah, they are shopping around. I know actually some of the people that are putting in bids for it. So that's great. Kevin Maven. Hoshi Sato, the best Terran leader or the greatest Terran leader? Greater than Empress Giorgio. Probably. We didn't see much of her reign, but yeah. Pumpkin Spice. Mary Wiseman cast as Luke Skywalker in the New Hope remake. Okay. Sturm Von Ulk says, I preferred Miss Wiseman in Longmire, even though she was more of a supporting character. I think it was more mature and better developed. The reason I like Mary Wiseman in season 1 and 2 of Discovery is because she's fucking hot. She's a redhead, and I fucking love her. She reminds me a lot of Sylvia as far as her personality quirks go. So I'm married to Sylvia. Of course, I think Mary Wiseman, I'm sure Sylvia will agree, is like my hall pass. But then season 3 and 4 hit, and they changed the character, and Mary Wiseman, I don't know if she got locked into a all-you-can-eat buffet, and I don't know what happened. Not shaming anybody, but she changed appearance-wise, and so season 3 and 4, Mary Wiseman or Tilly, I'm not the biggest fan of, but season 1 and 2, 100%. I haven't seen her in Longmire. I'll have to watch that. Toyota Tacoma. I adore Beyond. I don't know if that counts as JJ Trek, but it's wonderfully comfy. It doesn't really, because it's not really a JJ Trek film. But it feels more Star Trek than any of the other two. Troy Ulysses, I am shook. DS9 is actually going to get an upgrade. I never thought it would happen. Yes. Fingers crossed. Apparently, from what I've heard, rumor-wise, take this for what it is, rumor, grain of salt, salt shaker that up. But it was filmed in 16:9. There's the odd camera stand or mic stand you can see, but they can take those out. They'll have to remaster all of the CGI, though, to make it 16:9, which I'm excited. I would love to see a 16:9 version of DS9. So Stern Von Ulk, I dislike how the first two seasons of Enterprise, T'Pol didn't have the traditional angular eyebrows. Fortunately, that was rectified from season 3 on. Trekgate, DS9 upgrade, when? No idea. They're still shopping around for putting in bids, basically, to see who will get the job. And that even that is still going to take a few years, 2 or 3 years at least. Tired at Tacoma. I heard the first thing Michelle Yeoh did after getting an Oscar was push Section 31 along. I'm happy for her, but man, what on earth is that movie going to be? Well, first of all, you heard that from Kurtzman at New York Comic Con, and I think that's absolute bullshit. I think he's the one that said with her star power she could have done anything, but she pushed for Section 31. Shut up, Kurtzman. It's a good, strong character for her, so I can see why she would push for it. But a Section 31 movie, no one wants that. I don't want that. I don't care. Section 31 was only good in DS9 when it was Sloan. And you weren't sure if the Section 31 actually existed, or if Sloan was a bit insane and thought that Section 31 existed, or if it was a really, really clandestine group. But then they had to sprinkle it into Enterprise, and they had to fucking da-da-da. Now everything is Section 31. Fucking annoying. Annoying as fuck. It was good in DS9, then they fucked it. They fucked the dog. I'm swearing a lot in this live. I apologize. Anyway. Dave and Laura says, is Prodigy Season 1 on Netflix already? No, it's dropping Christmas Day, so watch it then. And then Season 2 is going to be early in 2024, so stay tuned. Pumpkin Spice DVD sales. I keep reading that media format is going away like video cassettes. It is slowly going away. However, anything that a company can do to make money off of its product helps improve the product and can guarantee the life of that product. So as long as there's anything Prodigy to buy it. Whether it's toys, whether it's books. There's books online that you can get for Prodigy. I've got them. Where the fuck are they? Here's 2 of them. There's actually 3. But Prodigy, A Dangerous Trade, and Prodigy Supernova. Buy this shit. This all helps. We loved Prodigy so much. Sam and I, we bought the Blu-rays, we bought the books, I bought the action figures. I still haven't arrived yet. But buy this shit. It's important. It is important whether you believe it or not. And the most important thing, like I said, on a streaming service is watch the content within 28 days of it dropping. Watch it all. Those mean good numbers, good analytics for the show. That's the way to do it. Trekgate. Prodigy will be debuting on Netflix on December 25th. Yes, Christmas. Hello, Donnie. How's it going? John Walker says, I always thought of Star Wars as space checkers, while Star Trek was space chess. Yes. Yeah. Don says, Season 1 of Star Trek Prodigy on Netflix is the bestest Christmas present ever. In a pretty darn good way, that is. Yeah. Trekgate says, read about Voyager remastered versions sold on VHS last year. Demastered versions. What?
I don't know how to respond to that.
I don't either. Shut up. Yeah, here. You freaking here. I didn't ask you, first of all. Balls deep, screwing over the fans, LOL. Welcome to Captain Foley Late Night. I tell it like it is, whether you like it or not. Stern Von Ulk, will Samuel let you voice a Dalek in his Doctor Who fan project? I'm sure he will, yeah. Probably the only thing I'll get to do. Trekgate, after Prodigy, you can always, at least briefly, head to the Nexus with Picard for Christmas and Generation. Yes. Dave and Laura said, yes, it's ugly, but they rebuilt it at the end. Backup says, hello from Brooklyn. Hello, Backup. How's it going? It's a great name. Bert Defect says, is too far to say that Abrams' Trek is the adult PH version of Trek, especially with Chapel in her undies. Oh, I don't have a problem with that scene. I don't know why everybody's all, that was a scene that wasn't needed. Sure, it wasn't needed, but it was really appreciated. I'm sorry, but Alice Eve is a beautiful fucking woman. I got my picture with her as well. Unfortunately, she wasn't in her undies. I mean, she was, but they were under her clothes. But anyway, The undies scene doesn't make it adult, though. Honestly, it's like workout gear. It's like a bikini. It's not a big deal. So anyway, and it wasn't Chapel. It was Carol Marcus, just for the record. But anyway. Don Don says, yes, my number 2 Kelvin timeline movie, and also my reintroduction to all things Star Trek multiverse, referring to the 2009 movie reboot. Pumpkin Spice says, the stupid part of Beyond was having to separate from the neck. The rest of the ship was gone, so pointless to do the separation. It wasn't, though. If you listen to the fucking dialogue and pay attention, it does say that the ship's main power systems were still trying to draw energy from the nacelles. So you had to saucer separate to tell the ship that, shit, I need to switch to the impulse drive for the power reserves. That's why they had to saucer separate. Dialogue's important. You should probably listen. Toyota Tacoma. Yeah, I got into Trek via the Kelvin movies, and I'll be the first person to call the Kelvinverse ugly as sin. Even when I was 12, I could tell that thing was unfortunate. All the proportions are just all fucked up. Like, the TOS Enterprise looks gorgeous from, like, every angle. The fucking Kelvin Enterprise looks good from, like, 2 angles. The rest, like, as soon as you move the camera, like, a pubic hair, it's like, oh, fuck, that's ugly. The proportion, like, the engines are too close together. They're too big. It's all fucked up. So, anyway. Dave and Laura says, biggest problem I had with the J.J. Abrams track was all the blinding flare and the not phasers. The flippy barrel thing's stupid. Oh, yeah. The one way stun, one way is kill. Yeah. Pumpkin Spice. Mary Wiseman probably got pregnant. That makes a lot of women heavy. Hard for a lot of women to lose the weight. Yeah, she absolutely did. Absolutely, yeah. But I'm just saying, and again, not shaming anybody, but I found her less attractive in seasons 3 and 4. Sure, I still love her as a person. She's amazing. But as a character, they changed her character in 3 and 4 to listen to the fans because they didn't like the somewhat like autistic kind of like spazzy character that she had in 1 and 2, which I absolutely adored. And yeah, I didn't find her as attractive. That's all I'm saying. I understand that people have issues losing weight with that kind of thing. I'm fat myself. I can't fucking lose weight. It's not pregnancy weight, but it's still, so it's not that. I'm not fat shaming her. I just don't find her as attractive in seasons 3 and 4, because in season 1 and 2, she was more of the quirky kind of, more energetic cutie pie. In seasons 3 and 4, they tried to mature way too much and way too fast and lose the autistic little spark that she had because they were trying to listen to the fans. So didn't find the character as attractive, and also didn't find her as physically attractive. That's all that I'm saying. Does that make me shallow? Probably. I've never once said that I'm not. However, here we are. Don Don says, yes, my number 1 Kelvin timeline movie, referring to Beyond. Yes, it is the best one. Urs says, hey, Kat, sorry I'm a bit late. You little what? What? Andres Vrolok agreed with the DS9 upgrade. Love my 4K screen and a 4K Blu-ray player. More Trek content for that is worth purchasing. Yes. You and Sam would get along great. He loves his 4K. I prefer I like 4K, sure. But I prefer 3D. That's dead. So, I mean, I've got a whole shit ton of 3D Blu-rays. But I prefer 3D to 4K. But it is what it is, right? John Walker throws in $5. This is for you, Eric. Cap, unleash the nip. It's going to cost more than $5 to unleash the nip, my friend. I mean, you've already put in almost 50. I'll restrain the nipple for a minute in the hope that someone will send a super chat to so that they don't see my nipple. I'm not as wild and free with the nipples as I used to be. Trekgate. Will Star Trek 4 actually happen? It did in 1986, The Voyage Home. Not so sure for JJ Trek, though. I mean, eventually it might. It's come to that point where I think if they do one, they need to just advance it a few years and make it the Monster Maroon era, where, you know, they can go into that era now because they're much older. Will it happen? I don't know. I hope it does. I wouldn't mind another Kelvin film, honestly, as much as I don't really like the Kelvin verse. I liked Beyond, and I would like to see another one. I think it would be fun. So, who knows? Urs says, yeah, I don't want a Section 31 movie, show or movie. Then they could just as well make another Mission Impossible or James Bond movie. Kelvin Maven says, Bashir and Section 31 story would have been a better fan choice than a Yo Show. Yo Show? Faux show, Yo Show. Sorry. They could have even tied Enterprise into the time travel awesomeness. They could have. And the fact is, last time we saw Georgiou, she was being sent by Carl, a.k.a. the Guardian of Forever, back through time somewhere. We weren't sure where. She might not be in the Discovery era. She could be anywhere, literally. So it could be an interesting movie if they play their cards right. But I guarantee you they'll fuck it up. So... Pumpkin Spice. They never mentioned Section 31 in TOS, TNG, or Trek movies, or Voyager. Right? Trekgate. DS9 and Voyager desperately need an upgrade. They do. Urs says, I reckon if Section 31 exists, does a Section 32 exist too? Or is that section that cleans up the mess Section 31 makes? We, from Section 32, we are unknown, but we clean up the messes of the others. Yeah. Could be the case. Don says, hello at Trekgate. I agree. Come on, Paramount CBS Studios, make it so. Pumpkin Spice says, Mary Wiseman cast as Thundar, the Barbarian, in the Disney live-action remake. Toyota Tacoma, Trek has always been horny. That's one of the core appeals of it, or core aspects of it. Trek has always been horny. You're not wrong. I saw a good video dissertation on Trek, on TOS Trek, saying that it's basically horror. It's body horror. There's a lot of body horror and horrific tones in TOS if you actually watch and pay attention. And I never really considered that before, but yes, you're absolutely right. As for the horniness, yeah. 60s, mini skirts. Like Deanna Troy's low cut and the offset one, but you still see the... Like, there's a lot of that in Trek. The skin-tight cat suits. A lot of people blame Michael Burnham, my God. Berman for that. And yeah, sure. But, I mean, it's always been an aspect or appeal of Star Trek. So I get it. I really do. Where are we? David Laura says, not needed, but ran it back 6 times, lol. Ran what back 6 times? Trekgate. Hi, agree, make it so. Andreas Vrolak. Dialogue is data, attention is important. Yes. Josh Ferru. Hey, Captain, how's it going? Good. How you doing? Andreas says, here's to fat folk. Tilly, Foley, rotundancy rules. Yes. I need to lose some weight. No qualms about it. Toyota Tacoma, it's weird that Tilly's personality got altered due to fan reaction when Barclay and the rest of Lower Decks are pretty well received. Yep, but you know what did it for Tilly? It's fucking awesome. Her swearing and saying fuck. That's what triggered people. And then when she did, when she said math is cool, people, or whatever, that's another one that got people. And I don't know why. Because as you said, there are other characters that are on the spectrum. I mean, Tilly clearly was in the first 2 seasons. And Barclay. Anyway, we're back now. The signal almost died for a minute there. I apologize. All right. Let's see. Josh Farrow. Hi, Captain. How's it going? It's going well, Josh. How are you doing, sir? I read that one already. Never mind. Tacoma. It's weird that... I read that one, too. Damn it. Disconnecting affected me. Urs says, no, you would say little. More like F. Late man, y'all are missing the GOD party. I don't know what any of that means, Urs. I must be stupid. Don says, come to think of it, November is King Charles' birth month. Don says, hello, Trekyard. Hope you're happy and glorious. Not just happy, but glorious. My God, man. Birth defect 1186. The one thing I appreciate with newer Trek is less one piece than costumes. TMP really got out of hand with it. Oh yeah. And Will Decker's bulge. My God. My God, man. Yeah. Futuristic costuming at its best. No zippers, as Gene would say. I agree with George Lucas's vision of that. There is no underwear in space, as he told Carrie Fisher. As it should be. Hey, psst. Wake up. He's snoring. You're still snoring, even though you're looking at me. Lola. I apologize for the snoring. Kelvin Maven, when Tilly took command, when others outranked her, ruined it for me. I felt the character push, and it didn't feel right. Yes, but that's happened multiple times. It just happened in Lower Decks. It just happened in the last episode of Lower Decks, where Boimler got command of the Cerritos, when there was many more on board the ship that were higher rank that should have been in command. It happens sometimes. It's one of those conceits of storytelling. Just like distances in Star Trek don't matter until they matter. It's one of those things. So that's a tough one to reconcile, honestly. It is what it is. Birth defect 1186. Horny Trek is fine, but please no more skin tights on men. I mean, the women need their eye candy too, man. You can't be saying shit like that. Just saying. And not only women, but like gay men. They need their eye candy as well. I'm fine with this. It's all good. Toyota Tacoma, for sure. That's one shot in TMP that's a bridge too far, and I think that's an accident. Scants are greater than catsuits. John Walker, how dare you disparage Magic the Gathering cards? That collection is the closest thing I have to savings, lol. I just never got into it, never understood it, didn't give a shit, still don't. People talk about Magic the Gathering, and I'm just like, I'm out. Pokemon, Power Rangers, Magic the Gathering, it's just... I was just a little too old for all that shit. I enjoy the good things, like the 80s. I'm just fucking with you. You do you, man. If that's cool. I mean, I know there's a lot of Magic the Gathering cards that are worth a lot of money, but I'm also not a big fan of Funko Pops. They're like little figures with bread heads, like loaves of bread for a head. It's just a waste of fucking plastic. In my opinion, Funko Pops are the new Beanie Babies. Everybody's fucking hyped for them. They're awesome. Let's collect them all. You go to a convention, you see many booths with just fucking straight walls of fucking Funko Pops. I think they're just going to be garbage in a few years, maybe a decade. That being said, some of them are pretty cool. I got like an original Voltron one because it looks good in that blocky format. But most of them are just garbage. The problem is, a lot of people are getting them signed by the actors. That ups their value. Is it just for the actor's signature? I don't know. Anyway, not a huge Magic the Gathering fan. Sorry. Anyway. Vera Invictus. Snoring adds to the late night ambiance. As long as it's not Sylvia. snoring, then yes. John Walker, I'm really banking on selling those later. Better do it before the bottom drops out of the market, or however that saying is supposed to go. They're worth something until they're not, and then they're not. Beanie Babies were the same fucking thing. This is going to be worth so much fucking money, and it was at the time. Look at them now. They're all fucking garbage. Nobody cares. They're not worth a goddamn thing. Kelvin Maven, I think we all can agree we need more holodeck episodes. What is the best holodeck episode? For me, it's probably Elementary Dear Data, just because I'm a huge Sherlock Holmes fan, as this entire bookcase of Sherlock Holmes content betrays. I mean, A Fistful of Datas was good. The Voyager one with Beowulf was also really good. There's been the Voyager episode with, holy shit, now both dogs are snoring. Like The Adventures of Captain Proton, where the aliens think that the holograms are real people. There's been a lot of good holodeck episodes. I don't even know which one to pick. Anyway, Joe Brown says the one with Moriarty. Yeah. I might have spelled that wrong. No, you spelled Moriarty perfectly. It's exactly how it should be spelled. Toyota Tacoma, The Big Goodbye is my favorite episode of TNG Season 1. Big Goodbye is a good episode. I'm not a huge fan of the gumshoe detective era. That being said, I do have some like classic gumshoe detective stuff, but not a huge fan of that era necessarily. But it was a fun episode. Fun episode. I really apologize for the snoring. It's embarrassing. Kyle Swinderman, I'm going to send you all of the Funko Pops now, Captain. Please don't. We have a few in the house. Some I got through Nerd Blocks or Loot Crates. Some are Star Trek related. Like I said, I have a little Voltron, which is the original Lions Voltron, which looks pretty cool. There are a few in the house, but I'm not the biggest fan of them. I think they're a waste of money and plastic. But John Walker, I can't stand Funko Pops. I agree with you. John Walker, my man. Love you, man. Another $10 super chat and I'll show you a nipple. I got you. War God 6. I hate Funko Pops. I do have a few Funko Soda and like the soda format. The box one's not a fan of the oversized head. Yeah, totally agree. 40-something man-child. Hey, Cap. Hope you're good. I am. Hope you are well as well. Hope you are good also. Words. Kelvin Maven. Voyager was good when they used to take on the Hirogen. My memory might be off. Well, no, the Hirogen expanded Voyager's holodecks to create more hunting grounds like World War II and a few other things, Klingon ones. So that is a holodeck episode, more or less. So if that's what you're talking about, sure. Andreas Vrolak. Great. You are a Holmes fan. You enjoy Solar Ponds as well? I have no idea what Solar Ponds is, so I'm going to say no. Kyle Swinderman. My favorite holodeck episodes might be the one where they find Barclay's fantasy program. Quite a vivid imagination he has, wouldn't you say? Yes. I'm the goddess of empathy, or whatever the fuck she said. I'd be in trouble if I had a holodeck. I'm just saying. But what happens on the holodeck stays in the holodeck? Question mark? I don't know. I'd be in trouble. 40-something man-child. I'm proud to say I own 0 Funko Pops. Attaboy. David and Laura. Yes, with Queen of the Spiders, Janeway. Yes, Queen Arachnia. Trekgate. Broccoli loved the holodeck. Yeah, I would too. Kyle Swinderman. Monthly crates of Funko Pops coming your way, Cap. LOL. Good. I will make a series of videos where I destroy them in many creative and unique ways. That will be my goal. to destroy every Funko Pop and have a series of videos on YouTube, which will probably get a lot of good reactions because people are going to either love them or hate them. So please send me a monthly Funko Pops. I will find many creative ways to destroy them. Trust me, I have swords. I have lots. I have fire. I have so many. I have a Camaro. I could back over one, or I could like put it in the fan blade. So many ways to destroy fucking Funko Pops. It'll be a great video series. Please do it. 40-something man-child. Hope you're good. Hope you're good is acceptable in the UK as a replacement for well. Yes. I am well. I am good. I am awesome. These are things. Kelvin Maven. Who is the best Sherlock Holmes actor? That's easy. Jeremy Brett. There's no fucking competition. The worst one, well, not the worst one. There's been a lot of shit Sherlock Holmes, but one of the worst major big screen ones. And don't get me wrong, I love this actor, Robert Downey Jr. His Sherlock Holmes is fucking atrocious. Just fucking shitty. Not Sherlock Holmes at all, just some weird eccentric guy, right? But the best Sherlock Holmes, the definitive Sherlock Holmes for me is Jeremy Brett from the Granada TV series. Easily. Dave and Laura, we don't even know what the fuck a Funko Pop is. You don't want to know. It's fine. You're fine. Don't look it up. Kelvin Maven, Zero Funks here too. Get the funk out of here. Cal Swinderman, I think we all would be in trouble if we had holodecks. LOL. Andreas Vrolak. August Dereth wrote Holmes and with Solar Pawns as his version of Holmes. Fun stuff. Okay, cool. 40-something man-child, language is fun. It is fun. Won't you join me for some fun? Toyota Tacoma. TBF. I don't know what that means. I would absolutely watch a Funko Pop Annihilation series. Oh, to be fair. Yeah. Good. John Walker, $5. You son of a bitch. I'm in. Half now, half later. Oh, shit. Well, that's $5 towards the $10 nipple reveal. War God 6. Donations are good. See, now, if people don't want to see my nipple, they have to match his super chats. See, you can pay me to leave my shirt on and not show a nipple. Just saying. And another $5 super chat, and it's going to happen. So you can equal it out right now. War God 6. Donations are good for giveaways too, especially if they fit your content for the channel. Good for fillers for giveaways. Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff actually. I want to do another mystery box giveaway. We've done like 2 of them on the channel. I've got a bunch of really great stuff for a mystery box. And I might be giving away one at some point in the future soon. So stay tuned to both the Captain Foley personal channel and the Trekyards channel. Which channel will I give it away on? I don't know. You have to be subscribed to both of them so that you know. Watch my content. I'm begging you. Andreas says Jeremy Brett is indeed the best Holmes. Ah, you, sir, are a gentleman and a scholar and a judge of fine cars, women, cigars, and Holmeses. You are the man. Willem Drab, that just wasn't Sherlock. But Robert Downey Jr., yeah. Great movie, like fun, but it was not Sherlock Holmes. Nothing about his portrayal was reminiscent of Sherlock Holmes. Kyle Swinderman, I love when Robert Downey Jr. cross-dressed as Sherlock Holmes. So in character. Yeah, Sherlock Holmes was a master of disguise, so yeah. Toyota Tacoma, I have a long-standing resentment towards the recent BBC Sherlock series. Listen, I don't mind Sherlock. I think Benedict Cumberbatch does a fantastic job as Holmes. I just wish it wasn't modern day. The one they did, the Indomitable Bride or whatever, that was actually set in the Victorian era. Perfect. Perfect. Leave Holmes in the Victorian era, for the love of fucking Christ. That being said, I really like Benedict Cumberbatch's portrayal. I just hate that for each season of the show, they're like 20 years apart. Season 1, 5 years later. Season 2, 20 years later, season 3. It's like, just fucking give me the show every year. That pisses me off immensely. Being set in modern times is interesting, adds a new aspect to it, but I hate it. I prefer it be Victorian London. Come on, let's get real. Another good modern day Holmes, which is actually set in the modern day as well, is Johnny Lee Miller from Elementary. I think if he actually did a legit Victorian version of Sherlock Holmes, he would be a fantastic Holmes. He's definitely up there. So there's that. Just saying. Dean Badger, I wonder, does baby batter dematerialize when you... Does baby matter, sperm, dematerialize when you... or just fall on the floor asking for a friend? It dematerializes. It breaks it down just like the replicator. I have issues with the holodeck and the waste extraction unit on the holodeck. That's not how that fucking works, but whatever. I've talked about that ad nauseum in the past. It uses replicator technology and transporter technology in the holodeck. You figure it out. There's nothing there when you're done. Birth defect. You haven't seen Henry Cavill as Sherlock, obviously. Oh, I have. I've seen Enola Holmes 1 and 2, and he's pretty good as Holmes. I love Henry Cavill. Absolutely love him. He is fantastic as The Witcher. He is great as Sherlock Holmes. Or as great as, sorry, fantastic as The Witcher, great as Superman. As Sherlock Holmes, he's good. Don't get me wrong. He's good. I would love to see a Henry Cavill Sherlock Holmes movie. 100%. Problem is, he doesn't fit the description of Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes was not an attractive man. He was tall, he was skinny, he was lanky, he had a hawk-like nose. He was not an attractive man by any form of the word attractive. So Henry Cavill doesn't quite fit the bill for me. Don't tell me that I haven't seen Henry Cavill as Sherlock Holmes. If it's Sherlock Holmes related, guaranteed I've seen it. Except for that thing that the guy talked about earlier. That being said, yeah, I like Henry Cavill as Sherlock Holmes. But it just doesn't quite fit the character. Don't tell me that I haven't. Birth defect. Don't you dare say that shit to me. 40-something man-child. Agree that Robert Downey Jr. as Holmes is appalling. I enjoyed Cumberbatch, though. Yes, I did too. That final week says VR is the first step to holodeck. Just saying. I know, and I'm a huge VR fan. Same with 3D Blu-rays, honestly. That's like another step. Like that's the first step, and then VR is the next step. I do a lot of VR gaming. I love VR. So yes, I am totally 100% in on all that technology. Trekgate. The holodeck is usually too much trouble for its own good. Sometimes not. Yeah, usually. But I mean, that's what makes it fun. General Grievous, you fools, you don't know what dark magic you're playing with. I'm still scarred by that $100 Misha super chat. You remember that? Yeah, Misha sent $100 to have me show my nipples. And you know why? Because it made everyone else suffer except for Misha. You know why? Because Misha's blind. I haven't seen Misha on the channel in a while. Hope he's okay. Toyota Tacoma, do you ever play tabletop? If you do, have you any thoughts on Modius Star Trek Adventures? Ever played tabletop? Like RPG? I mean, when you say tabletop game, especially with Star Trek, I think of Starfleet Battles, where it's like a mega hex map with like little miniatures of the ships or tokens, and it's a ship battle. I don't think of tabletop as Star Trek Adventures. Star Trek Adventures is role-playing, kind of like D&D. And I do some D&D, but I do have some of the Star Trek Adventures books, but I've never actually played. So 40-something man-child, can you ever remember you mentioned Doctor Who? Can't ever remember you mentioning Doctor Who. Wondered if you were at least going to see the 60th. Personally, I can't wait. I'll see the 60th, but I'm not a huge Doctor Who fan. Me and Sylvia came in to watch Doctor Who with Matt Smith. So we watched Matt Smith, then we watched Capaldi, and then we went back and watched Eccleston, We never got to dipshit. What's his name? Why can't I think of his fucking name? David Tennant. We never watched all those. Personally, my favorite Doctor Who is Matt Smith, so that tells you my Doctor Who knowledge. You probably think I'm an idiot, and that's fine. He was my first Doctor, that's why he's my favorite. It is what it is. I'm not a big Doctor Who fan. I will watch the 60th, though, for sure. Olam Drab, nothing about the plot of that movie I can remember was very Sherlock. I don't even blame Robert Downey Jr. Trekgate, more times than not, they go in there for fun, then they can't get out. Who? Oh, the holodeck, yeah. Don says, I'm honestly looking forward to Doctor Who specials on Disney Plus. I have nothing against those who are skipping them. Yeah, I'll watch them. Birth Defect, Hugh Laurie was the best Holmes. I stand by that. Hello. Hugh Laurie was great as House, yes. Nice try. He would make an interesting Holmes for sure. Kyle Swinderman. They are working on a third Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock film. Maybe it will be better. Third time's a charm. No, they've already established his character, and it's fucking awful. So it'll be worth watching. It'll be a fun blockbuster, but I'm not looking forward. I'm not going to be going expecting a Sherlock Holmes movie. Kelvin Maven, I love the Holmes chats. Hey, there'll be more of that over on the Captain Foley personal channel because that's more of what I'm interested in. Down at Tacoma, I'm legitimately excited for the Doctor Who 60th. I don't know if it'll be good, but I'm excited nonetheless. Well, it's a gamble now, isn't it? Shea Locomotive Productions was just watching your last late night live. Oh, well, welcome to this one. Don, I enjoyed Hugh Laurie as the titular character in House MD, yes. Titular. Trekgate. Will the Who 60th specials only be on Disney Plus? No Blu-ray release after premiere? I have no fucking idea. Andrea said, same here with the obsessive Sherlock Holmes interest. John Neville and even Christopher Plummer did fine portrayals. Oh yeah, there's been a lot of great portrayals over it. Even Leonard Nimoy did one. But for best, it's hands down Jeremy Brett. For worst, who the fuck knows? But definitely Robert Downey Jr. is at the bottom of the list. See, Sherlock Holmes is the most famous fictional character, the most portrayed in film and TV, right beside Dracula. Dracula and Sherlock Holmes are the most famous fictional characters that have been portrayed most on screen. So there's a lot of Sherlock Holmes to cover. Dave and Laura says, LOL, Hollow Man shoot blanks. Hollow Men shoot blanks. Thanks, Laura. Birth Defect. I didn't know there are fans of Cavill as Holmes, and I agree. Cavill is a gorgeous man, and that was a huge reason I didn't buy him as Sherlock. Yeah, I mean, he's got the speech down. He's got some of the eccentricities of Holmes down, but he's just way too good looking. And Henry Cavill is a good looking man. I don't have a problem saying when a man's good looking, and I'm just saying Henry Cavill's a good looking man. So he just. Holmes was never a good-looking man. I mean, he's even described as being not attractive or not good look. Like, I'm just saying. David and Laura, nothing to clean up. Hollow Men. Gotcha. Yeah. Laura, how dare you? John Walker, $5. My fans care nothing for your dignity. Your fans care nothing for your dignity. Well, there's that $10. Who wants to see a Captain Foley nipple? This is a momentous occasion. Has been done before, though. Dun, 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 dun. And 2. Look at that. My man boobs. Aren't they great? Thank you. Thank you so much, John Walker. No, Anakin, no. It's happening. 40-something man, I keep my word. 40-something man-child. Matt Smith is my favorite of the new series too. McCoy for the classic. Dave and Laura, Doctor Who is dead. Ooh. Don. That's the opinion of an individual. Okay. Dave and Laura, Tom Baker. General Grievous, you're going on that lightsaber stab list, John Walker. Don. The DW specials will air on BBC One in the UK, get streamed on Disney Plus in the rest of the planet. The rest of the planet. Don. Oh, he's just saying hello to everybody. Of course he is. My number one Doctor Who in the new series is David Tennant. Yeah, fuck David Tennant. 40-something Man-Child. They are being released on Blu-ray at the end of December, I think. Dave and Laura says yes, but Laura keeps dozing off. LOL. She is a lightweight. Oh, Laura, wake up. 40-something Man-Child. Kevin is awesome. Huge geek. He is. Warhammer. He's into PC gaming. He's amazing. I love the man. Taylor Tacoma. Capaldi is my favorite Doctor. Partly my second. I would actually really recommend the Pertwee era if you're a Trek fan looking to get into Doctor Who. Nice. Holodeck man, yeah. General Grievous, my eyes. 40-something Man-Child, now I won't sleep. Nipple posting has begun, yes. Nipplegate 2023. Birth defect, just saying, Dr. House's address was 221B, best friend was Dr. Watts. I mean Wilson. Well, exactly. There's a lot of parallels and similarities between Dr. House and Miss Dr. Holmes, Sherlock Holmes, 100%. That's part of the reason. Like the guy that created House was a huge Dr. Holmes fan. Dr. Holmes, a huge Sherlock Holmes fan. Jesus Christ, my fucking dyslexic brain is yelling at me. I'm gonna have more Kraken, even though nobody's super chatted for it. Oh, I was almost right. So not quite a full shot, but the Kraken, she be gone. Cheers. Dave and Laura, whoop whoop, take it off. That was Laura. Sure it was, Dave. Sure it was. I believe you. I mean, thousands wouldn't, but I will. Dave. Laura was sleeping. You even said so. Andres Rolock. You'd be fun portraying Watson. Fuck you. I ain't no Watson. I'm a Holmes. Oh. Funny when Sam and I are together. Sam's a little bit taller than me, and he's lanky. He's more like a Holmes. He's not quite as smart as a Holmes. I'm more of the Holmes mentality. But when we're side by side, it would be a good cosplay for us to do Holmes and Watson. But I wouldn't want to be Watson. I would want to be Holmes. So that blows that out of the water. Stern Von Alk. Baker was my first Doctor. Enjoyed 9, 10, 11, and 12. Became unwatchable after Capaldi. John Walker says, "You're welcome, world." Cool shades. Hey, you're not the first person that's got me to take my shirt off or show my nipples for super chats. So don't be too proud of yourself. Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've created, or this nipple-logic terror you've created. I don't know. I'll just move on. General Grievous, welcome to Trekyards After Dark. We were monetized. 40-something Man-Child. So, Series 5 of Discovery. Glad it's the last, or disappointed. I'm glad it's the last, honestly. They stretched it out far longer than I think they should have. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Dave and Laura. Toyota, yes, yes, yes. Dave and Laura. Toyota Tacoma. Whittaker's run was such a mess. I feel bad for the actress. She could have been great in the role, and we're unlikely to get another female Doctor because of how rough Chibnall's writing was. Stern Von Alk says, liked Whittaker in Broadchurch. Toyota Tacoma says, "Oh, I have a suggestion for worst homes." Will Ferrell. Oh, fuck. You know, I watch everything Sherlock Holmes. I took forever to watch that movie because I heard nothing but bad things about it. And one friend of mine is like, "It's really good. You'll really enjoy it." Da 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 da. So finally, I watched it. Look, I love Will Ferrell and his buddy. I can't remember his name. There were things about that movie I liked. The sets were pretty good. Like Baker Street looked pretty good. You know, you can do parody. You can do Sherlock Holmes as comedy, but the way you do that, there's a movie called Without a Clue with Michael Caine and Ben Kingsley. Michael Caine as Sherlock Holmes, Ben Kingsley as Watson. That's how you do Holmes and make it funny. Will Ferrell, it was something. It was a thing that happened. I think he made a better Sherlock Holmes than Robert Downey Jr., though. Controversial? Maybe. But it's the truth. Will Ferrell did a better Holmes than Robert Downey Jr. So, 40-something man-child, I'm glad it's ending too. Yes. Birth defect. I tried to come. You were absolutely right. Oh, about the female doctor, yeah. Sternbone Alk had high hopes, which stomped on brutally. Chin balls is to Doctor Who what Jar Jar Abrams is to Star Trek. Okay. Shea Locomotive Productions, you and Sam would be a good O'Brien and Bashir. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Sylvia said the same thing. He is very much Bashir, the arrogant, cocky, although he's not superior to me in any way. But I am very much the O'Brien. I'm Irish. I'm the same kind of mentality, the same kind of, and we have the same kind of chemistry in person as Bashir and O'Brien do. So 100%, yes, we are Bashir and O'Brien, much more so than Sherlock Holmes and Watson. So yes, I totally agree with you. General Grievous, Disco is like Old Yeller. Time to put the old dog to sleep. Yes. Trekyards says, agree, Capaldi was last good doctor. Yes. And Clara, gotta love Clara. Or the Impossible Girl. I prefer the Impossible Girl to Clara, but my God. Season 3 of Disco should have been the end. Anyway, now after 5 seasons of Discovery, we need 5 seasons of Star Trek Recovery. Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Recovery, fixing all. Discovery. See, they could still fix Discovery. They could still fix all of Discovery with the last season by having it be some kind of definitely not prime timeline and maybe even some kind of thing that shouldn't have happened. They can do that. They had many opportunities before to do it, and then we were hoping that they would, and they just never did. But they could fix it. Dave and Laura says, I like the Master as a woman, but the Doctor was just an attack on the fans, along with the episodes. Stern Von Alk says, Capaldi's speech with the Zygons was epic. Disco was just a mess. You're not wrong. Cynical Humanist says, been a while since I caught a stream. Have you been watching the Shuttlepod shows? I watch them sporadically here and there. I haven't seen any of the more recent ones. I haven't seen the Doug Drexler one, even though like a week and a half or 2 weeks after he filmed that one, I was actually at Doug Drexler's house hanging out with him. So I do watch Shuttlepod show, yes. I just haven't had a chance to kind of catch up and watch all of them. So yes, I do watch the Shuttlepod show. Dave and Laura says, episode 1, season 1 should have been the end of Star Trek Discovery. Sure. John Walker, I wasn't a fan of Angry Old Man Doctor. Kind of did a 180 for me on the entire feel of the series. Went from anything is possible to everything sucks. Don says, I honestly love the first 2 seasons of Discovery more than the recent 2. I love the scores and uniforms as well. However, I'm more hyped about season 2 of Prodigy And season 3 of Stranger Worlds in the final season of Discovery. Yeah, you should be, yeah. 40-something man child, Jenna Coleman, yeah. Clara. Or Amy Pond. I mean, Jillian, what's her name? Shit, I was going to say Gillian Anderson, but that's Scully. Anyway, moving on. Stern Von Ulk, Bobby Ewing pops out of the sonic shower. Bobby, not Booby. I know. I saw Booby, but my brain thought, I'm just having a dyslexic moment. It's Bobby Ewing because I saw the next name. So thank God I didn't say Booby Ewing. Oh, boobies. I like boobies. Don says, also among the things I love about the Discovery is the guest starred a Power Ranger alum, Chris Violet. Cool. Toyota Tacoma. If a new Trek series was to do a holodeck episode, a la Data and Geordi and Holmes and Watson, or Bashir as Bond, which characters should riff on what series? Oh, that requires a lot of thought. I don't have an answer for you. That's a good question, though. But sadly, I'm an idiot and can't answer it. Roy Long, Disco could just be a bad dream that Trip had after getting not quite blown up in the Enterprise finale. Then he wakes up and everything is right again. Yeah, perfect. General Grievous, well, that explains a lot since the futuristic uniforms look like a ripoff of the Power Rangers SPD. Trekgate, my new Trek ranking. Number 1, Prodigy. Yes. Number 2, Strange New Worlds. Number 3, Picard. Last season helped jump over 4 lower decks. Lower decks should be higher. And 5, Discovery. Karen Gillian, thank you. Let's see. John Walker says, gotta go. Good night, Cat and everyone. Good night, John. Thank you so much for burying my nipple. See you later. Karen Gillian is quite tall. Kelvin Maven, her best star in Trek, Dean Stockwell. I would have said yes, but they didn't play on Sam and Al's relationship from Quantum Leap. I just wish once in that episode, Archer would have said, oh boy. I'm just saying, they needed something in that episode. Dave and Laura says, Amy Pond, yes, would do bad things. Bad things. Oh, yes. Redheads? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. General Grievous, I liked SPD, don't get me wrong, but I liked my Starfleet officers not looking like they report to a blue alien dog commander. My modern Star Trek ranking for Dawn is Prodigy at number 1, Lower Decks at number 2, Stranger Worlds at number 3, Discovery at number 4, and Picard seasons 1 and 2 at number 5. My honorable mention is Star Trek Picard season 3. I pretty much agree with all of that, but I think season 3 shouldn't be an honorable mention. It should be right behind Lower Decks. I mean, Stranger Worlds is good, but yeah, that's a tough one. I love Space Patrol Delta. Ah, yes, Commander Anubis Doggy Kruger. Don says, we missed you, Dean Stockwell. Yes, Dean Stockwell, you will be missed. Trekgate says, they missed an opportunity with Bakula and Stockwell in the episode. Oh boy, yeah, exactly what I said. They missed 1 or 2 opportunities. It would have been great if Dean Stockwell, as the commandant of the prison that they were in, had like a pad and he was like, and he has to hit it like Ziggy. Like, fuck, man. There's so many things you could do. Why do you not dive into that as part of a... yeah. Kelvin Maven, oh boy, is what is said when I seen that nip. Oh boy. Sure wasn't, oh my. Cynical Humanist, I still want to be abducted and studied by Kelvin... Barbara Boucher. No idea who that is. Dave and Laura says, laughing my ass off. If Archer had said, "Oh boy," I would have lost my shit. Hello. I know. I was expecting something. All it takes is one little line. Oh boy. Joe Brown. They did have Dean holding a pad of some sort. He didn't smack it though. Well, it doesn't count then, does it? Toyota Tacoma. Picard season 3 works best as a finale. Actually, hold on. Before I read yours, Dakota Tacoma. Wouldn't it have been great if the first introduction of Archer to the guy in charge of the prison, was a hologram? They're in their cell, and all of a sudden a little display on the wall beeps, beep, beep, and all of a sudden there's this hologram of Dean Stockwell saying, I'm in charge of this facility, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I want to see you in my office. Because Al in Quantum Leap is a hologram. Shit like that. It's so fucking brilliant. Just add that shit in. It's for the fans, man. And it wouldn't take away from somebody that doesn't understand what Quantum Leap is. It wouldn't distract from the episode at all. Do that shit. Do that shit. Anyway, Toyota Tacoma says Picard season 3 works best as a finale to the TNG movies. It just happens to be attached to two of the messiest seasons of Star Trek. Yes, 100% agree. Not that Nemesis isn't messy in its own right. Yes. Cynical Humanist, TOS episode by any other name, Barbara Boucher. 40-something man-child. I cried when I saw the Enterprise D, and I'm not ashamed of that. LOL. Trekgate says, come on, Ziggy. Tell me what I'm supposed to do now. Urs says, oh boy. Yeah, they missed out. If someone mentioned Ziggy, Bacula, Ziggy sounds familiar. Yeah. General Grievous, it would have been a nice nod and deep cut if Captain Pike had said, oh boy, in the crossover episode when Boimler Mariner came through the portal, since he was an Archer fan. Yes, you're not wrong. Hold on just 1 second. I just got just a thing that I just noticed. I hate when things get moved. This drives me nuts. Oh, I gotta also put my Star Trek Prodigy books back. Go buy all the Prodigy things. It's important. You don't like it? Tough. Andromeda did the best crossover episode with Adventures with Hercules when they saw the sword. Yeah. Sternbone Hawk, Picard season 3 isn't really that good. It was just loaded with Easter eggs and fan service to the point where everything else is overlooked. And the bar is so low from previous seasons. I mean, you're not 100% wrong. 40-something man-child, I'm glad Prodigy is coming to Netflix. Yes, me too. And like I said, stream it all within 28 days. Those are important metrics for streaming services. If you stream all of the episodes 28 days after they drop, it's a fantastic metric, which means they are going to maybe make a season 3, 4, 5. Who knows? Netflix is known for doing that and kind of saving shows. So let's show the Prodigy love on Netflix, everybody. That's an order from your captain. Every man cried when the mighty deep powered up, or you lied. Romulan War needs to have a series or mini-series. I would love to see the next class come out in the midst of the war. Also, Warp 7 is achieved then. Yes. 40-something man-child will do. Good man. Trekgate, thank you, Netflix, for saving Prodigy. Thank you, fans, for saving Prodigy. General Grievous, here's the thing, though. At least an effort was made to not take a big dump in the legacy characters like in season 3 like previous ones did to Picard, Riker, and company. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're 100% not wrong. Don Don says, to be honest, the score was among the few things I loved the best about the final season of Picard. Likewise, the interior of the Titan Prize and the return to the Enterprise D. Will Prodigy be on Sci-Fi Channel, even if it's now on Netflix? Probably not. General Grievous, the first 2 seasons of Picard were how the sequel trilogy took a dump on Star Wars legacy characters. Yeah. Stern Von Hulk didn't cry. Never really liked the fat one. Ooh, TOS and refit will always be my Enterprise. Ooh, Stern. Kloonberg said they're also known for canceling shows after when they are known for that. Yes. Toyota Tacoma, yeah, I don't see a masterpiece in season 3, but it's the best conclusion those characters could get at that point. Yeah. Don Don says, yet there will be a home media release of season 2 of Prodigy by next year's end. Philip Gaming says, good evening, Cap. Trekgate says, Nemesis was not a good conclusion to TNG, particularly in the last 10 minutes. Kit 10K, hey Cap, saw you were still on and decided to drop in, and I proudly admit I cried tears of joy when the Enterprise D flew out of Bay 12. Joe Brown, probably been brought up before, but worth bringing it up again. Animated Star Trek What If series. Yes, 100%. A What If series with like a CGI kind of animation style would be fantastic. You could visit different eras, you could do different really cool things. General Grievous, for the love of God, please stop making sequel shows and movies that are a formula of taking heroes and breaking them down to pathetic people with mommy and daddy issues or having a mid or end of life crisis. I agree, General Grievous. I agree. And on that note, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark. I think I'm done for tonight. I initially wasn't going to do a live, but then decided to. So I thank you for all of you for joining me. I appreciate you guys. And I understand that Philip Gaming and Kit 10K just got here, but we're at the 2-hour mark. So I'm going to call it quits for now. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thank everybody that super chatted. You guys are awesome, as always. And I'm going to go and watch something. I'm going to watch a movie. Maybe No Country for Old Men. Something like that. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So, anyway, on that note, thank you all again for watching. You guys are amazing. I love you all, and I will see you next time. So, live long and prosper, and peace out.